According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Furina is...
Not guilty.
Well, what's wrong? What's the oratrice doing?
Yeah. Of course, the oratrice is on her side. It can't be. Did the oratrice just declare Furina to be innocent?
No. The oratrice also displays a guilty
Oh.
verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty, to be punished via the death
Oh,
sentence.
crap. Death? Why?
Death sentence?
How did things escalate this quickly?
Like I said, it's her fault.
This outcome is indeed
All of
quite
this is
strange.
her fault for
According
not
to
just
Fontaine's
being
current definitions
honest.
of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences. Is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah, even Vacher wasn't sentenced to death by the oratrice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
What's more strange is instead of Furina, the oratrice rendered the judgment on the Hydro Archon.
Indeed. What does this mean?
We need to investigate the thing in the basement. There's excessive amount of
excuse me,
indentium, right?
if I
What
may
is that for?
interrupt.
Why is it just being kept down there?
Is the trial still going?
It's over, unfortunately.
Fremine! Huh, you finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water.
Well, it's a good thing you're back safe.
But has the trial already concluded? Then doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no. Father will be disappointed in me.
No, don't worry. The mystery hasn't been resolved yet. It's not too late for you to shine.
But then it feels like we're going to have to share some
Well,
truly
we
shocking
have to.
revelations.
They, Furina chose to make this super public.
Let's hear them.
The first slate reveals that Fontainians are not real humans.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
We're not
You're
real
all
humans.
originally Oceanids.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis.
Mm-hmm.
The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
The second slate reveals that the crime of the Hydro Archon was her creation of Fontainians from Oceanids.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that
Mm-hmm.
she probably anchored Celestia by creating humans without prior permission.
Mm-hmm.
That could also explain why the oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
Mm-hmm.
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
Well, that's what happens when there's secrets, okay? It has to come into light somehow. Well, it's just a matter of time, I mean. And as for the third slate, I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
Mm-hmm. The fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as it's already widely known.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
Mm-hmm.
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source.
Then were you able to
When
get
we were
that?
at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time,
Do you still
I was
remember
unable
what
to
you
come to
got
a
from
full
the other
conclusion.
3?
Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall
Okay.
make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within.
So,
Well, did you get it?
mm-hmm.
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you.
Okay.
Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return
So
to the
that's
sea.
why they have the
As a result,
special power,
their
the
forms would
Osea
collapse,
and
and they
the
would be reverted to
pneumonia.
their
No,
original forms as
Numa.
Oceanids.
The Numa power thing. That's why they're so special.
Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being. Alas, your hypothesis regarding the 3rd and 4th stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions
Really?
are, in fact,
Then
correct.
why is the 3rd slate so... Yeah, what is the 3rd slate supposed to represent
A key
then?
point of the visual on the 3rd slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the 3rd slate is that the
Is-
people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
Oh.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
And so that's
I
why
think I'm following now.
she wants to win here.
What you're
What should we do?
I don't know either. It feels like there's no way out of this.
No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled.
No, there's still something that the Mage N
Is this what it feels like to be a
said. We
prisoner of
haven't
fate?
used that evidence yet.
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About
What
the
is
4th
it?
slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that
It's
the
not?
prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it
I
once
have.
before.
Could it be... Huh.
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Okay. The prophesied disaster will likely spread from here. The true source of the catastrophe. Is it the Whale?
It was both dream and reality.
What?
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Then what is that whale? That thing is the thing that chose Child to be something, right? If that's why he's so attracted to Fontaine? Or why he chose to stay in Fontaine? And why he's imprisoned in the primordial sea? Oh, crap. Oh, that's it. That's the whale. This... Neuvillette, I don't think you can handle this alone. Where's the traveler? Ugh. Where's everyone? Where's Risley or Clorinde or... Crap. Run! No. Huh? Child? Were you trying to fight that? Oh, crap. No. Are you okay? Well, you're back now. Traveler. Traveler. No, no, you can't. No. You just came back.
How did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait,
Yes, it was.
the whale you saw in your dream?
I'd wager that's also the one the child saw when he was
So
young.
we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Teyvat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while.
Then why did
has
it
been
pop up
greedily
here?
consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels
Oh,
with
to
primordial
take the
seawater.
Fontainians.
Precisely.
Yeah,
That
the
whale finds
blood.
the blood of Fontainians
The seawater
nigh
inside their
impossible to resist.
bodies.
Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontainians.
We just barely managed to push it back,
You guys didn't do anything. It was only Neuvillette and Child just dropped back into that freaking abyss.
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that
But
whale,
I don't know.
definitely
I don't
think
even
it's
know
something
how
to help us
long
out like this.
he's gonna last there. He looks so tired.
This whale- All we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
But can we?
It is too late.
What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it.
So it's too powerful
point,
for us?
It has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Teyvat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Navia's right.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
Now what?
What's happening with the oratrice?
Yeah.
I believe it is preparing to carry out
Oh,
the death.
great. Well, she's given up. She doesn't care anymore.
No, I still need answers.
Mm-hmm. We gotta save her. She's the only one who knows everything. She still wouldn't say anything up until now. It doesn't make sense. Oh, what? Huh? What's that?
You.
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Furina. Who are you?
The sweet sound
Oh,
of
that's
bewilderment.
still
Marvelous.
Furina.
A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalors. You know, the god.
Focalors. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Furina. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Furina to be an actress, to play the part of the Archon in the prophecy, under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalors' divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epilogue.
But Furina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
Okay. I'm still angry. Like, not at Furina anymore, but at Focalors. She's so ass.
It has indeed. And
Like,
although she
you
is,
want to
in a
live as a
sense,
human, but you're
me
not
in human
actually
form,
living as a human. You're
I
just
most
watching
definitely
someone who
owe her
looks
an
like you live
apology
as
for
a
it.
human. So why even bother?
It's been 500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
And you want to kill her? That took so
even
long.
Furina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles.
Like I
you must
said, the
first
least you could
deceive
do is
yourself.
talk to her. Have her confide in you.
I'm sure you've long sensed that the oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I became one with the oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
So that's why
I
she
beg
had the
your
death
pardon?
sentence.
Really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence.
What, to be dramatic?
It was all a part of your plan then.
I mean,
Both the
she's just
trial
human.
and the
It's not that
sentence.
hard to kill her.
The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course.
Oh.
In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
And that's why you're telling him all this now.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon
She just
Sovereign.
doesn't want to be the Hydro
And
Archon,
this
doesn't
is the
she?
face you make.
all you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon
Because he
us?
can control the primordial seawater.
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, focalor. Things being as they
I
are.
agree.
Surely
I'm mad
you
at her
could
the
never
most.
declare them to be
Like, I'm
guilty.
only mad at Furina because she's faking it, and I hate fake people. Okay. So what are you gonna do now, Neuvillette?
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Oh wait, no, I was thinking wrong earlier, wasn't I? Focalors doesn't want to kill Furina. She wants to kill herself. And that's why she needed a lot of power. Because it takes a lot of force and power to kill a god like herself. Does her human self need to die too? Is it because they're that connected? Couldn't you at least Furina live? Let Furina live. Like, be her human normal self. Mm. Thank you, Furina, for all you've done. From this moment on, please live happily. Okay, so she does get to live. Okay. And she gave her some power too. Right? Mm-hmm. I think so. Oh, poor Neuvillette.
I, Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Hmm. Hmm.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been carried out?
Mm-hmm.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
And now Neuvillette is the new Hydro Archon.
Just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial
He's unlocked
sea
his
from
true
that
power,
creature.
right? You obtained power just now?
Traveler.
Yeah.
Now that the oratrice can no longer function,
Mm-hmm.
I require an executor to help me mete out justice.
Wait, you mean me?
The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine.
Are we going
the
in
beast
there?
that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal.
Mm-hmm.
Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Well, I guess the others can't really go with you. But okay. Let's do this. Can we save child, please? Neuvillette. Help me save child. I'll be so sad if he dies right now.
We're going to execute it? But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
Uh-huh.
I've already done my best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the whale. But considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
Thank you. But I don't know how to attack this guy. Where do I even begin? Do I use... I wonder...
I can feel its sorrow turn.
Oh. Ah! Ah! Oh my god. What are we... What? Now what?
Why is there a hole-looking thing
Oh crap.
over there? It looks
What?
really scary.
Run away for now. I need Zhongli's shield. Okay, let me eat some food.
Squall and fury.
Where are you aiming, dude? The enemy's right in front of you. Oof. Oh, what? What happened? Is it dead? Oh. What's happening? What is that? Oh. And you are... What? What are you doing to child? Why did you do that?
Should have been my job, but Oh well.
Your
It
job?
was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's
Skirk?
would start brawling in the meantime.
My disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meat. That was your master's
Well,
pet?
actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million
What?
times as penance.
You're...
Power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier,
Yeah.
she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
Yeah, and not exactly an eccentric kind.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world.
Are you talking about me or Neuvillette?
So you may speak to me as equals.
What sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet?
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It
So
eats
who's
too
your
much.
master?
And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks.
It looks ugly.
All in all, it fails
Like
as
it
a pet.
looks butt-ass.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being...
Well, being that this pet
Uh-huh.
almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master. Wait, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Right. So you don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you
Him.
did. His name is Sertologi.
Who?
I am unfamiliar with that name.
I'm guessing he's another one that's out of this world.
Huh. So Master
He's
is
not
insufficiently
originally from
famous.
Tevat.
How should I describe him then?
Insufficiently
Have you heard
famous.
of the name the Fowl?
No.
Foul?
I mean, I know it's part of Child's name.
Still
The
nothing?
Foul Legacy.
Well, how about the Visionary?
Oh, Ryan
from
daughter?
Or Gold Rhine Daughter?
Wait, I thought Ryan daughter was a female.
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine Doctor's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Yeah, she. Now there's him.
So you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine Daughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person?
Wait,
I didn't quite catch their name.
visionary. Is that the mage?
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
So you mean that thing has been preventing the prophecy? No, there's little to be surprised about, Paimon. It is natural, after all. The prophecy will surely come true. We knew this and accepted it. However...
Not to worry. Focalors has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Furina will remain, weeping on her throne.
But...
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
I thought... What did Neuvillette do? So you're saying Fontaine just drowned? It became the Atlantis? What happened to the people? Yeah, they shouldn't be affected by the seawater or the primordial seawater anymore because Neuvillette tried to remove that, right? So this is all just normal water now. Okay, good. Everyone's alive. Just hopefully they won't drown to death. Oh, it's receding now? Oh, it's Risley's ship.
All hands initiate emergency rescue.
Uh-huh. Hurry,
Hurry!
Uh-huh.
Hey, lend a hand.
At least the ship was finished in time. Go, go, go.
Look, the water's receding.
Really? Then why all of a sudden? Why? Why?
The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright? We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
Well, the Hydro Archon's dead, and the only one remaining is the Hydro Sovereign. So that's why. Also, the Hydro Sovereign removed all the primordial seawater in the water, right? Before they were drowned by the Celestia. I think that's what happened.
The Gnosis was given to the Knave, right?
Yeah, what about Child? I know he's alive
They say that
because
he's returned
Skirk
to Snezhnaya
kind
to
of
recover from his
saved
wounds.
him.
I hear that the recent disaster
Oh, really?
did a number on his health.
Well, he used his foul legacy a lot. At least he's alive. Well, I guess I can now call him one of my war buddies.
Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Actually, I just remembered something. Please help us deliver this. Oh, right.
vision.
His vision. It's still with us.
All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this entire
No
time.
problem.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control over the
Oh,
hydro element.
so he just removed the curse?
Fontainians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians became true humans,
Oh.
and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the
So
primordial sea.
he didn't remove it, but just transformed them into real humans. They became real boys and girls.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, what's up with that? About the initial verdict that was passed on
I have
Child.
investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal.
Oh, so that's why he's guilty.
But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider
Yeah.
him the root cause of the disaster.
Because
At
that's
most, he would
not
have had
the thing that we
tangential
talked
liability.
about.
As
That
for the judgment
situation
passed by
wasn't
the oratrice
presented
during the trial,
as an evidence.
whether it was due to that liability by association or focalors deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess focalors had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans. Hang on a second. Paimon certainly
But
got another question.
I still hate the fact that he got a friggin' guilty verdict, though. He didn't deserve it.
Hadn't yet become real humans.
Ugh.
Were the
Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
Right, that produces power for Fontaine.
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wait, so you're providing them their power to run?
Wow.
What?
This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
As unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame.
Are they gonna have like a Mad Max
There is
style?
one other piece of information I got
of
incidentally
scenery?
from my negotiations
That
with the
would be
Knave
cool.
that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
He's there?
The captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I mean, they're trying to do their job.
I suggest
Like,
that you fully
that's
prepare
good for
yourself
them.
before going
And
to Natlan.
why do we care?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface.
What?
It went something like this.
You stayed there?
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well, all right, Neuvillette?
Mm-hmm.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference.
Oh, they want to talk privately?
I can finally catch the scent of your power, what it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend.
The height difference.
I'm sure I've encountered something like
She's
this
so
before.
small.
What was
She's
it
so
again?
small.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Wait. Huh?
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
Is this?
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called
okay.
a gnosis.
Well, that much is true. After Focalors' divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
Yeah.
I've been training with my master, the
The
Fallon,
third
ever since
descender.
I
I
was young,
forgot what
and I have
Nahida
never
said about
returned to the
that.
surface since.
I'll have to look
So
it
most
up.
of the information I possess, I got from him. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you.
Misfortune. What does that
To
mean?
live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
What do you mean? You two are gonna meet again?
Next time. You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger then.
Child became their WhatsApp. Okay.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on
So
to you.
you see it as something you shouldn't hold on to then.
The remains of the third descender?
If she speaks the truth,
Wait, in
then I
that
would simply be
case,
putting Fontaine at unnecessary
by
risk by keeping it here.
by taking all of the gnosis, is this Saritsa trying to revive the third descender? A descender, she mentioned one of them. Well, I am the fourth descender. For me, this information means two things. One, that the gnosis are related to descenders, and two, that the one who came before me has already died.
I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third descender. I wonder.
Oh my god,
Does
don't
your body also possess similar properties?
don't don't think like that, Neuvillette.
Powers without a vision. That does sort of count as special compatibility.
Yeah.
No, let's not think
Yeah,
about that
don't
stuff right
please.
now.
That's exactly what I feel. I just didn't want to say it.
Comparing the traveler to the dead third descender and all.
Don't worry, I won't die so easily. At least not until I get my freaking stupid brother back.
Once child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or
We
go
need
look
to
for
know
his
more
sister
about
and get the
Skirk.
answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
And that's the end of this story. And that's also the end of my playthrough for Genshin for now. I'll come back when there's a new Archon quest, or when Dane comes back actually. I'm more interested in that. I'm hoping that it's not gonna be as boring as the last one. And he's not just going to keep running away again, go on vacation or do his own thing or wherever. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!